Bogdan says, I honestly wish both Destiny and Vouch would be gone from the platform, but that's just me. You know the problem with that mentality, though? And I'm not calling you out. I'm certainly not calling you out, but someone else would just replace them. That's the problem. And so the issue is not with any particular individual. And that's why I personally, I need to keep myself in check. When I start going off on one individual, I really think that mentality is something I should be consistently against on my platform. I really need to make more of an effort to not contribute to the feedback loop that is the spectacle. And I know I'm not going to be perfect and I'm not going to beat myself up over it, but it's something in general I'm going to try to do. Yeah, there might be certain people who are emblematic of problems, but usually it's like there's something going on beyond just that individual. And if Destiny wasn't on this platform and if Vouch wasn't on this platform, it would be some other fucking people doing this, you know, debate shtick, right? Which I've kind of tried to highlight the problems with that in a video called the spectacle of online debate. If you're not aware of what happened, maybe I'll just go ahead and read that thread that I posted. I did a video called The Spectacle of Online Debate, which I encourage everyone to check out. I understand it's a long video. The point of that video was to kind of illustrate how online debate is more about appearances than it is about real dialogue. But I think I kind of messed up. And so for starters, I got too wrapped up in the debate itself as I was commenting on it. So
Destiny doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
If you watch that video, you know that I watched this segment of a 3-hour-long debate between Destiny and Vouch. I think even the participants in that debate acknowledged that it was kind of a train wreck, which is fair enough. But I sort of wanted to offer some commentary on it to illustrate how this spectacle works in a real world example. Because I think the problem with a lot of people who talk about theory is they don't use real world examples to connect with people. So I thought that was a perfect opportunity to show how online debate is sort of this manufactured theatrical spectacle. And it's not really about getting to the heart of the matter. It's not really about dialogue, as I said. It's more about ego and the aggrandizement of the self, basically self-promotion, which, as I've kind of alluded to, I don't blame any particular individual for that. We're all just operating in this particular sphere of influence in which there are certain incentives. I got wrapped up in the debate itself, and I got sort of emotionally involved. I was trying to sort of put out fires and defeat the bad arguments, as one does. And this alone isn't a negative thing per se. I kind of expected it would happen. It does serve to demonstrate how easy it is to get wrapped up in the endless circle jerk that is the online debate scene. But here's where I really fucked up, okay? I made some short compilations from this longer stream with some of the juicier bits. They were on my channel. There was one called Dunking on Destiny, and then there was another one called, I think it was called Destiny Doesn't Understand Marks. First, I'll say it is common practice for streamers to do that kind of thing, to post like short little juicy compilations from longer videos. But of course, I should have anticipated this would contribute to the feedback loop. So basically, my intent was to undermine online debate as a serious mode of discourse, and I think I ended up doing the precise opposite of that. After I did that, I received a reply from Destiny, the man himself, on Thursday, asking if I wanted to chat, which is an with a little smiley face next to it, which makes me feel like I'm in a creepypasta, personally. If you understand the broader context of what I was trying to do, you of course know why I'm not really going to entertain the idea of talking to Destiny. But I did take down my short compilations because I think in hindsight, they're totally counterproductive. And if anyone wants to see those clips in the broader context, they still can, because you could still watch the spectacle of online debate. I think in this case, the medium is the message, and that was not the message I wanted to convey with those specific videos, so I took them down. This isn't really a moral thing, per se. It's just that in my own small way, I ended up contributing to the spectacle. So I guess you could say I posted cringe. So I set out to accomplish one thing, and I did the exact opposite. But I do want to impress on people just exactly how this works, even if it's just like a kind of trivial example. It does illustrate my point. If you see here, this little bump is when Destiny watched my videos on his stream. And of course, it coincided with people flooding my comments and saying things, but that's not really, it's not a big deal. Like, brigading for me it didn't really impact me in any negative sense. I did get a little bump from Destiny watching my videos. And so does that kind of illustrate to you how this whole thing works? It sort of is a mutually reinforcing feedback loop that is, I guess you could say, advantageous for both parties, right? Even though it seems as though the relationship is antagonistic, it is actually mutually advantageous and helpful for both sides to engage in this, purely in terms of the economic incentives involved, right? So I guess the broader point is that, like, incentives in online spaces propel streamers to be at each other's throats, but it's for this broader purpose of garnering attention, which in turn leads to revenue. Nothing good really comes of this in terms of, like, its impact on the broader culture. In my opinion, it's a race to the bottom in terms of the level of discourse that is incentivized. So that's what I have to say about that. And if you want some extended notes on debate fetishism, that is now available for my $10 patrons. I assure you I will unlock it at some point so everyone can read it. I never keep things behind a paywall for very long. I'll tell you what, I'm not cut out to be a debater. I'm not. So I really shouldn't have gone there. And I'll tell you why. I'm too empathetic. I'm like empathetic to a fault. I don't like hurting people's feelings. When I was watching that debate, there's just things floating around in my mind. Like, I'm aware in a general sort of way of the type of things that Destiny has said that have led me to believe he is not a good faith interlocutor, shall we say, but also, like, in general, maybe a contemptible person in certain respects. And I won't, I feel like maybe I'm contributing to the feedback loop again just by saying this stuff, but I'm just trying to give you some context on why I'm not cut out to be one of these debate streamers. It's because, like, all of that informed the type of thing that I was saying in my stream, where I sort of rant and I'm kind of aggressive about how, like, I'm kind of like, why does anyone take this guy seriously? It kind of made sense to me at the time when I was saying it in my commentary, but of course that ended up contributing to the feedback loop, right? And I really should have realized that when Destiny was watching my videos on his stream. I was kind of surprised that he wasn't more aggressive. Maybe he just doesn't perceive me as a threat, and that's understandable because I'm a much smaller channel than him. But I also kind of felt like he was tired. Like, Maybe that's just me projecting because I'm tired all the time, but it kind of seemed like he was really fucking tired when he was watching that. So, in essence, what I was watching was me being super aggressive and saying all of these mean things, and then just some tired guy in the corner just kind of like frowning. And I felt bad. I gotta say, I felt kind of bad. So this is why I'm saying like maybe debate streaming is not for me, and it's not even something I ever really entertained. And I just thought like maybe debate commentary might prove fruitful. I don't know. Again, I'm like empathetic to a fault, and I could be projecting here, but when I said that thing about like how I'm like baffled as to why anyone takes him seriously, I kind of like noticed him wince at that comment, and I felt like I hurt his feelings. And even though I don't like the guy, that doesn't feel good to me to do that. I don't like any of this, and it's not for me, basically, is what I'm getting at.